Well, hello, internets. It's me, DP Knudten, for another exciting, well, maybe not exciting edition of BOOKWARD BOUND, my 301-day live stream journey toward a new book as of January 1st, 2021. It's quite a task to get this done, and it's quite a commitment that I've made to do 301 consecutive daily live streams as I work on this book. But guess what? I'm doing it. Sometimes barely. And tonight is one of those barely nights. It's like by the skin of my teeth, by fingernails hanging on the edge of a cliff. This is not going to be a long episode, but it's going to be one about a topic that's very important when it comes to writing books, and that is distractions. Now, if you're like me and you're on YouTube, you can't help but see a ton of these masterclass advertisements with big name celebrities who are doing masterclasses on everything from film to writing to, I think I've seen one about piloting or being an astronaut, by that Canadian astronaut. And they look like fantastic classes, and I definitely would love to take some of those or view some of those, but that's part of the problem. They're so cool, they're distracting me from doing the stuff I need to get done. And interestingly enough, one of those master classes is being taught by the novelist Joyce Carol Oates. Let me say that again, Joyce Carol Oates. And the little clip that starts her masterclass ad is all about the hardest thing about writing. And I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember it completely, but it's something along the lines of the hardest thing about writing is not writing. It's being distracted by other people. Well, I would add on to that being distracted by anything, period. In fact, the reason I'm getting a late start on this tonight is because I was distracted by a whole bunch of different shiny objects, which frankly, my attention, which, let me put it this way, were absolutely designed to grab my attention and hold that attention. It started earlier today when I happened to go to YouTube to check out my channel and make sure everything was showing up correctly and maybe make some additions, etc. And I happened to see a suggested video that, long story short, if you haven't seen Netflix's The Witcher series, it's pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. And in one of the episodes, I think it's episode 2, at the very end of it, there was a moment when my head just snapped, as I went, wow, this is fantastic. And what it was is there's a character named I believe it's pronounced Jaskier or Yaskier, who is a bard, a strumming, lute-playing singer. A very funny character, very fun, but he's making up a song about what essentially happened in that episode. And he writes this song called Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. And it starts out very strummy and all that stuff, and then it turns into this epic ballad that is just fantastic. And the first time I heard it, I'm like, wow, that is a great song. So a long time ago, when I first saw The Witcher, I do what everybody does, which is, I wonder if anyone's covered this, or maybe they posted it to YouTube. So I went to YouTube, and guess what? Within a week of it first airing, there were a ton of different versions. And as you can see on the walls behind me, I play guitar poorly. But I like to play along with other people as they play. And so I had been learning the song Toss a Coin to Your Witcher, and I saw a new to me anyway, a new listing of a cover that might be worth checking out. There is a woman named Violet who did a metal version, and it's not the heaviest of heavy metal versions that are definitely on YouTube, but it's a metal version of Toss a Coin to Your Witcher, and she sounds like the woman from Evanescence and all this stuff, and it's just like, oh man, yeah, it grabbed my attention. And then it reminded me, hey, I just downloaded The Witcher 3 for, a special low price, the Game of the Year edition on my Xbox One. And so all of a sudden, my day got derailed as I tossed a coin to my Witcher. Well, that coin was not a coin made out of silver or gold. It was a coin made out of my attention. And consequently, it really stopped me from doing what I had planned to do, and even sucked out a lot of my energy for doing this tonight. So this is my long-winded way of saying any distraction is the hardest thing about writing, because writing requires a degree of focus and diligence and discipline that is hard to maintain for long periods of time, especially if you're someone like me. That said, can I do anything tonight to advance my book, to move it forward? Well, I'm going to try, and I've already opened up Scrivener, the app in which I am writing the main body of the book, as you can see. I love me some shortish paragraphs and subheads and things like that to make it much more readable for people, or much more easy to drop in and drop out of, rather than having to read this massive Faulknerian paragraph or Joycean stream of consciousness blather. So I'm looking at where I left off last night, and I was talking about, and this actually happened yesterday and today. I had the call with the woman who called me today about working on a project. The call I received today. I'm going to... Yesterday's message turned into a face-to-face Zoom call today about the specific challenges she, my friend, God, I can't spell, is facing as she sets about starting up a brand new business that she recognizes needs a brand from the very start. From that very start. Talked a process. So I asked her a bunch of questions, talked her through my process, and talked me through our process. We went on to some early stage ideas. Round with some initial concepts. Talked budget, timeline. In that sentence, notice anything missing from? Notice anything missing from that previous sentence? RFP. Proposal. She wasn't contacting me to invite me to include me to pitch her business. She went straight to the, so when can we get started? Phase project. What happens when your personal brand has already done all the sales legwork for you, well, in advance of any conversation? When where did you, did you, Scrivener, where'd you go, Scrivener? Did I click? Oh, you know what? I should put Scrivener on screen instead of you guys watching my, it was on screen. Yeah, where'd it go? Hold on. Yeah, it was right there. Well in advance of any conversation. When know who you are, what you do, how you do it. Cycle can be incredibly short. Why? They already know they want to work with you, have already their ducks lined up row and are ready to go. To know further hassle. And if you need one compelling reason to commodity, start branding your business. Try that one on for size. Think you'll like the fit. All right. I think that might be a good, if you need, I think I might give that a little bit of bold love. And that'll be the end of the thing. So this whole section is 2,086 words, which is good because I don't have a tight quota on how many words every section is going to be, but roughly 350 words a page-ish, and 8 to 10 pages per section or chapter, depending on what you want to call it. And that means about 2,500 words-ish, give or take. So I think this section's looking pretty good. So I am going to swap the flag over here on the logo, or the icon, from yellow, which means I've done some writing, to blue, which means I've written the entire thing. Now it needs to try to get that green flag, which is it's been totally proofed, it's been totally edited, it's been totally done, and it looks totally finished. Right now it's roughed in. There's some finished carpentry that needs to be done, some, continuing the carpentry metaphor. I need to get out the triple-aught steel wool to really polish this thing to make it smooth as silk, and look for any mistakes. Do some fact-checking if necessary. Like if I'm quoting someone, I'll look up the quote to make sure I actually quoted them correctly, that I've spelled their name correctly, etc. Any factual thing I want to look up and double-check because, mistakes do happen. And once I do that, I'll kick this from a blue flag. Hold on. I got to show you this. Okay, see, I'm talking about this blue flag right there. I'll change this from a blue flag to a green flag, which means this section is done. Well, right now it's rough, but it's finished for now. So that's where I'm going to finish for tonight. Because as I said, today was a day of distractions, but still I was able to come down here and move my book forward a little bit. And that's all I really want to do, because this is an extracurricular book. I've got a full boat of work to do during the day, and I got a family that I love to spend time with. And so I got to carve out a little extra time here and there, wherever possible, typically right before I go to sleep. And so that's where I'm going to be heading now. Thanks so much for watching this. I'm DP Knudten for the Nonfiction Brand podcast, which comes out every Monday. So this week's episode came out yesterday, and it's episode 86 with a second half conversation with Matthew Sweezy, who is the author of a really great new book called The Context Marketing Revolution. You really should check out the episode and check out his book because it is that good. I'd also like to invite you to join Nonfiction Brandversity, the free Facebook group that I started on Facebook. All you have to do is search Nonfiction Brandversity, ask to join, and you are in. Well, as soon as you answer 3 questions to prove you're not a bot. And I hope to see you there on campus one of these days. And for now, theme music, take us on out. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.